Hello everyone, and welcome to Joe and Zach's Survival. Today we're going to be smoking up a pork roast. We're actually going to smoke it in the smoker for about 4 hours, and then from there we're going to transport it into the oven. And every time I do this, they love it. It's so moist, I mean there's only one bone in there, but it just about falls off the bone. And it's a nice cheap cut of meat that you can buy it, and it's not killing you every time you go to the store. Okay, so this is the roast we're going to be cooking. It's just a picnic roast half. It's a pork shoulder, so you got one bone in the middle, but you get a good chunk of meat. I mean, this is only $1.48 a pound. This is 5.31 pounds, costing $7.86. You can't beat that. Okay, so on that roast, I'm going to make a little rub, and what it's going to consist of is I got about 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. This happens to be light brown sugar, but whatever you've got. To that, we're going to add about a teaspoon of garlic powder and about a half a tablespoon of a seasoned type salt. And we're going to mix all that together. Get that all mixed up, we're going to go ahead and put this all over this roast and just kind of push it in like so. Now some people like to add like oregano to this, like a chili powder or even a cayenne pepper if you want to make it a little hotter or whatever. I don't like the hotness in anything, so I'm not going to add that. Once we have it all covered fairly well, then you're going to take and wrap it in like a cling wrap or tin foil or anything. Just wrap it up tight. And then you can either do one of two things. You can put this in the refrigerator for, they say, up to 4 hours. You can leave it overnight if you wanted to. What I like to do is I wrap this up, and since I like to smoke this, when I put it in the smoker at room temperature, I will let this sit out now and become up to room temperature, which will take about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then I'll just unwrap it, and then we'll put it in the smoker. Okay, so that roast is just about ready to go in here now. I've come in here actually and started this smoker. And I'm going to smoke it using oak today. I've got that thing smoking already. Usually I like to use maple in that, but I do like the taste of oak, and I wanted this one to be a little different than the last one I did. Now with my smoker this time, I've blocked off the top. That'll keep my temperatures down here. It'll be close to 200 degrees I can get out of this homemade smoker. But since we're going to finish it up in the oven, that's not really necessary, but it will cook it a little bit, which is nice. Okay, like I said, we're going to smoke that for about 4 hours, so I'll probably end up changing that wood pan probably 3 times. Okay, so I actually left that in there for about 5 hours. I have sat boiling down, and I'm making syrup today, so things were getting a little bit busy. And I ran that through 4 full pans of the oak sawdust. And now I'm going to get some water in here, put a little foil on it. I'll show you that, and then we're going to put it in the oven. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to dump a half a cup of water in here. And then we're just going to cover it up with foil nice and tight. And what this is going to do, when I put it into the oven, it'll bake it, but that water will kind of steam into it and make it really nice and moist. So now I'm just slipping it into the oven at 300 degrees, and we're going to let it sit in here for, I'll check it in about 45 minutes to see what that internal temperature is. Okay everyone, well that is done now. Just pulled that out of the oven. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, that looks way better now, doesn't it? We're going to let that sit and rest for a couple minutes here, and then we'll cut it up and see what it looks like on the inside. Alright, well let's cut into this and see how this looks. Look at how juicy that is. That looks really good. Okay, now for the best part, I'm going to give this a try. Very good. That oak is a nice flavor to it. I normally don't use oak. I always use maple and stuff like that, but that is really good, guys. Super moist, almost melts in your mouth, kind of. Anyway, I've done these before, and I really enjoyed it. I've never done it with oak before with this type of a roast, but that's an easy way to do it. I hope you guys liked watching that, and thanks a lot for watching the Joe and Zach Survival channel.